40 chess. Yeah. 40 chess. 40 chess. Let's get it.
Yo, is that T-Dog?
40 chess. 40 chess. Hey. 40 chess. This a trade show. Patreon where the trades go. Tap in and watch. That's what you came for. Ain't gotta say my name. They know my name, bro.
What's good, man?
We got McNutted in ATM. Always start off the show with a trade from them. You should always make sure that your trade is in Patreon. Why not be a Patreon? Know you wish you could spend every day with them. Tap in and say what you gon' say with them. South Harmon can fill up a stadium. Next time you log in, make sure that you bring a friend. We about to kick off, let the day begin. Go follow the socials. 40 Chess FF is posted. If your trade is an F, you get roasted. Go like and subscribe for the crew. Apple, Spotify, and the YouTube. You know Koopa got the WoRP Tool. Let us give you a walkthrough. 40 Chess. This is 40 Chess.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Dynasty Trade Show. We're glad you're here today. If you want to be a part, drop some trades. Patreon.com/South Harmon. $5 tier. Get you the trade channel. You can put that in. Also, make sure you go check out our sponsors, Ultimate Autographs, where you can get all the cool shit. You can't see it in this one because, Adam? Oh, shit.
We're in Canton.
We're together. Bye-bye.
We're in Canton.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. That just happened. So today, we're going to have a little guest spot. We're going to go three-way.
Ooh.
Not three-way trade. No. Three-way review with an actual trader.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do first, though, Mike.
Three-way.
Today, what do you think we do?
You gotta start with one of my own deals.
Before you go to sign shit, because none of it's here. Actually, well, it is here. There's just no room for it. But, Mike, you are on. You're keeping the trade show alive. We got a 12-team, 2 quarterback, 2 tight end, PPR, 1.25 tight end premium. It's okay that I have to hold my mic, by the way, and mine's not movie quality. Best ball start 12, shit wars 2. I was looking at this trade, and I'm trying to make sense of it before I read it to the audience because this is fucked up.
It is. It is.
But it's Xavier Worthy, a 25 third and a 25 first. You have Brock Bowers going away, as well as Kamani Vidal and Tyrone Tracy. I like Tyrone Tracy, and that's kind of where it stopped for me, right about there. It's okay. I mean, I'm a fan. I want the good things to happen, but for a third, honestly, you're already making me think.
Yeah.
Any one of those players over there, for a first of B-Halls in particular, in any league, any class, I'm in.
Money.
I don't
That's
actually.
mean. That's mean.
I actually don't get this one. Like, how does it? The math ain't mathin'.
But tight end premium, man. That's what it is. It's actually a legitimate one in WoRP.
Is it?
Not the worst.
Okay.
Not the worst. Which is also why, in the actual draft, I ended up taking Brock Bowers before I took Worthy. You know me, the tight end. But tight end.
What a spin that is,
Yeah,
huh?
right? I actually took a tight end.
Okay.
I found a league where tight end mattered some. So
Wow.
I took Brock Bowers, and apparently Matty Gomes wanted him. He wanted him.
So, well.
He took Xavier Worthy 1 pick after I took Brock Bowers. So.
Yeah. So what's interesting is the warp of tight end versus wide receiver don't matter because you bent him over on that. Well, I don't get. So Brock Bowers, let's say the warp is good though.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend that because they're 1 pick swap, like, you know, it's like a Vince Carter, Anton Jameson thing. You picked them and then you swapped them right away.
Right away.
But the first for either one, dude, I would pay a first for Vidal. I would give you Tracy, Vidal, and another similar running back of, I don't know, Guerrero type. Guerrero. Or Guerrero.
It's been a long week.
It has been. For a first. Like, I don't. How does that get in? And then, not to mention Matty Gomes getting thrown into this with the third.
Just because.
Okay.
Just got to get a third, man.
Yeah.
Gotta get third. I think it was pretty easy, man. I'll do 1 pick swaps all day like that.
Was this just like a. Did you make counters back and forth? How does this get done? Or is this just sitting in your inbox, like, nice and double cheeked up?
I think originally it was a 1-for-1.
Okay.
Like, no. So then you add in the first.
When you say 1-for-1, is that he was going to. Wait, hold on. You're telling me after it happened, he wanted redos?
Yeah.
When you already made the pick first. That's actually kind of
I'll
awesome.
take backsies.
All right, so we got Koopa Troopa here now. Koopa Troopa's going to be defending his own trade.
In the flesh.
In the fucking Discord, but here also in the flesh. Now, he's trading with M. Bennett here. This is a 12-team Superflex PPR, 0.25 points per carry with a 0.75 tight end premium, right at the edge of where it starts to matter. Just a tip. Best ball start 12. Ballers USFFL. Okay, so big trade here. Getting Justin Jefferson in a first always sounds good.
Sounds nice.
Then you add Ayuk, who here at the Expo, there was a rumor that he went to the Browns. Not an actual trade.
It's bullshit rumor.
In a second. We got Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Travis Etienne, and Josh Palmer up on the top going to M. Bennett. You've heard enough from me. Koopa.
Yeah, so this is a league where if you've been listening to my podcast, you know that I am finding my leagues where I need to get out, and I'm just tanking to the bottom. And this is one of the ones where I was like, I am ranked 8th overall. I need to find a way to start getting towards the bottom, start getting some value. And I am aiming for how do I get to the bottom in this league. And I may not be the biggest fan of trading away a quarterback, but looking at Justin Herbert, what do I project is the long-term value for him? He's going to go down a little bit from where his value is at now. I can probably buy back in later. I can also probably buy some other quarterbacks in later. Yep. And so getting back Justin Jefferson, this started with an auto-accept trade block where he was just looking at my prices on Cooper Kupp and Mike Williams, and it turned into this because he said, I've been thinking about trading down from Justin Jefferson, and I had to jump in on that. The main thing I had to offer was that Justin Herbert. I also get rid of Travis Etienne, who I had listed on my trade block for first, and just get off a running back in a league that realistically I'm not competing for a couple of years. And this 26 first, the reason I'm getting that is because a lot of the 25s are already spoken for. And yes, this is a USFFL. It does not have any Devy component, so that is a true first. I don't need to worry about any of that. It's bog standard 26 first, 12 team. Like, it'll probably be somewhere in the playoff range, 9 through 11, 12, something like that. But I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more looking for the liquidity.
This was stupid easy.
Yeah.
Stupid easy. Justin Herbert or Jefferson?
Come on.
Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I was going to do. When you go cancellation, right, just at least for me, this is why I Coop, this is a smash. Jefferson over Herbert, but even if it's got to be over for me. You could call it close to cancel, but now
it's over.
Ayuk over Cooper Kupp, I would say,
or Etienne,
or even Etienne for sure. Now, would you pay a first for Cooper Kupp?
Maybe
in 26.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my problem now. What
Best
the fuck
ball
does the second go to?
I don't know.
Mike Williams, is he back? Last
No.
I checked, he's actually on the pup again. It's almost like he traded teams to be on the same spot.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, it's here at the shit house. I don't know. I mean, I know Palmer maybe in best ball, not worth a second, but it makes you feel better.
No.
Here's the problem. Even if what I just did was try to make a case where I'm swapping better every time on Coop. So why am I paying an extra when I'm losing every player?
I don't understand.
This one is. Can I tell you what it is? I'm glad you're here today because it's the next trade. It's fucking that's actually ridiculous. How long did that take to work up? Was that counters back and forth with you and him?
Yeah, it was maybe it counters back and forth over the course of like 5-6 hours or something like that. Okay. It actually started with he was asking for Cooper Kupp. He was also asking for Saquon Barkley, and you notice Barkley didn't even end up in the end deal, and he ended up getting swapped out for Etienne. Okay. And then there was and part of the reason that I ended up finagling that part out was I had somebody else also asking for Barkley. So I got this trade done without Barkley, sent it to him, and then got to offload Barkley to somebody else, and I got another first from that manager too, for my Saquon.
Okay. Well, here's what's crazy. When I look at this, somehow we got Brandon Ayuk and Amari Cooper. Who there was people here. We're not going to name names that were convinced that these two players swapped teams last night.
Different teams.
Unfortunately, Cooper still says Cleveland. It's weird.
Are you sure?
Now, when I look at this trade, Coop, this was a 25 second and a 25 third from Big Corey and Sonny D. Kind of love Sonny D's third round being thrown in here. 12 team, 2 quarterback PPR, best ball start 12. This is shit auction 3, but You tell me how this deal gets done, but I think I have an idea where it might have come from, somewhere to help you be a little more efficient.
Oh, yeah, this is another auto-accept trade block. Literally just Amari Cooper. I put it up. I want a second and then and a third. Reason being, I didn't want to just sell him for a late second. If a contender came to me and I was like, that's probably going to be the 211, 212, I don't want that to be my auto-accept trade block value. So, you know what? Tack an extra third on. That gets me to probably a mid-second in terms of value. And for me, that's good enough on Amari Cooper. And this is a league where Shit Auction 3 is one of our big money ones. Mm-hmm. And this is one that I need to pay more attention to. And I was realizing I am, like, in another league, I'm like 8th or 9th. Okay. And so I'm not competing this year. I need to start liquidating. I need to get myself to the 101. I want to try and turn it around sooner because you've got so much money going into your league dues every year. You stretch out that rebuild 4 or 5 years, you're just being a huge league donation.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I would say in best ball, like, I would be very much about Cooper for a second, for sure. But for you, I think the third makes it in best ball harder for me to send away. I still might be able to do it, but now you have a lot more outs. And I think if you're trying to get rid of him right now and get off the risk, like, I don't think in best ball there's any way someone's truly sending 2 seconds. What do you think here, Michael?
It'd be tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But
the second and third as a contender, I'm in this league, and I thought about,
Did you get upset a little bit at Big Corey? Yeah.
Like, he was faster to the trigger.
Well,
some people are real quick with it.
You know what
people make it last too long.
Koopa gets what he wants. Mike doesn't get what he wants, so I'm in the middle of this, and I get what I want. Everybody's fucking happy, Koopa, honestly, love it. 2 trades in the trade show. Thank you for keeping the show alive here at South Harmon. We appreciate you today.
Love you too.
Thanks, Coop. Here's a guy who played well.
I was going to say, here's a guy that he's back on the trade show. I can't remember the last time he's been on, but
It's been a minute.
used to be a Stapleton of the trade show.
A Chris Stapleton.
Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams and Keon Coleman, as well as a second and a third. They're coming from Krogan 4. Michael Penix, big fan, 25 first, 26 first, and a 25 first. So it's a 12-team Superflex PPR league. Lineup start 11. League of Douchebags actually checks the boxes for the traders here. We've got 3 firsts, Mike, and Penix. Like, honestly, you get to 3 firsts before we even throw Penix in the deal. Would you take 3 firsts or Caleb Williams in a lineup league start 11 like this? Now they're out. So you got 2 25s and a 26, but 2 of which are GOAT rings.
Maybe Caleb. Maybe.
Okay.
It's
Now,
tough,
what
I mean, you're paying the
if you
higher
told
price.
me before you know the names, like, these are generic, so we're going to call them,
Yep.
Middling chances best.
Middle of the roads.
Still taking Caleb by a hair?
I think I'd take Caleb by a hair.
Okay.
Price you got to pay for an elite quarterback.
All right. Now, Keon, a second and a third versus Penix. Where are we at here?
Penix.
With you.
question.
That being said, I mean, and I'm telling you, I think this trade, it could work out for GOAT rings for sure if Caleb is him. But I think here's when I look at this trade, that's what has to happen now.
Yeah.
I feel like at this price, he's got to have to be a douchebag in this douchebag league. Like, he's going to have to be awesome.
It's going to have to be the douchebag.
Honestly, like, I feel like he's going to have to be a top 12 quarterback, like, probably off the rip. Because you're also, when you do this, you're not, you can, bake in the dynasty value. But when I'm sending my first and second away in 25 and 26, it's not just that. Like, I want him to be producing now.
His 2024 points have to be zesty.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Zesty, right?
Well, zesty points.
Yeah. Shout out to Burger King. Zesty sauce.
Zesty sauce.
What side do you want, though?
I think I'd go with Krogan's, actually. I'd take Penix in the 3 first, and you can have Caleb. And I got a lot of outs on the top side.
Well, okay. I was gonna say
a lot of outs.
There's a lot of flexibility. It's very flimsy. It's bendable.
A lot of ways for that to go well for me.
I feel like the thing is right now, if I was not trying to win, like that's the type of trade as the preseason's on. Mike was watching, film watching.
A little bit.
As the season progresses, I feel like it's going to be easier to get a trade like that done for someone that's wanting to go win.
Yes.
But now GOAT rings is Caleb's got to be him right away. I don't. Also with Keon, like, this is one of those trades where I look at it. Keon's dynasty value may go. It's going to be probably pretty fluid throughout the year. A couple good games, but I don't project him a small range of outcomes where he's also a difference maker too in this format. So it's just I don't love getting 2 rookies unless I'm going to try to flip later for contender. But
understandable.
I'll lean Krogan. But if you were trying to go for it, I think I'd rather trade for something else. How about bias football? That's kind of what we do here in the shit show. 12-team Superflex PPR lineup start 11. We got JSN, Jaden Reed, 25 first, 4, 1 Tyreek Hill. 2K was locked until the dreaded ankle sprain on the fucked up tackle. Get rid of the rule. They tried. Just it's illegal. He got flagged, but it happened. Would you take like JSN and Jaden Reed, 25 first? I think this is a great example of best ball and lineup differences.
Yep.
You tell me this in a best ball, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just getting cool on Jaden Reed. Cool lean on JSN, but I still am fine with him. I'd take him in a trade. Best ball especially. This doesn't feel like a trade I want to make in lineup though, honestly.
Tough. If I wasn't competing, though, I'd like to get off Tyreek Hill for something like this.
Yeah, if you're trying to do a little soft rebuild, maybe.
Yeah.
Not enough first.
Yeah.
It's like a soft box, like
This is a good tier down.
soft rebuild.
This is a good tier down on a rebuild.
But that's the thing. What do you? I think it's okay because what are you realistically going to get better than this for Tyreek Hill unless someone else can give you true liquidity?
Correct. They're not going to give you 2 wide receivers who have some promise.
Right.
To go up, but JSN a little more than Jaden Reed, but still young wide receivers that, hey, if they go out and they have a couple weeks here early,
Yeah.
like people will be in on the hype train and you get a first pick. Like you're not going to get much better than this even in a lineup league for an older number 1 wide receiver like Tyreek Hill. Like it's tough. There's not a lot of buyers in the first, and there's not a lot of people who have like, hey, give me a first and a good young wide receiver.
And exactly. And because here's the way I kind of view it. If you're making this trade and tearing down, you don't have JSN here. You have Jaden Reed. You want to swap other names in.
Yeah.
The higher you go up the board on keep trade cut, pretty quickly here, you're going to get to names where now, why am I? If you're that person making the trade, why am I attaching that player to go get Tyreek Hill?
Yes.
I think the big thing to note here, I would rather have that say 25 first and 25 first for sure for Jaden Reed and for JSN.
That would be
Now, and here's the thing about that trade though, versus this and that. If you have JSN and Jaden Reed, personally where I'm at, I think the biggest thing when you make this trade, the trying to move Jaden Reed now. Like what you don't want to probably do in this soft rebuild is just hold both of these assets and think that there's not an expiration date on either one of these guys' dynasty value possibly. That's what I'd be looking to do if I make this trade is see if I can. You don't have to get a 25 first necessarily, but can I flip Jaden Reed when he's coming off of a good week for Green Bay? JSN in this grub offense where it's supposed to be chucking the ball all over the yard. That's what I'm trying to do.
Keep that liquidity going.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
I love what you're
Keep it
talking.
rolling.
I love the way you're talking to me.
I like it liquid.
Well, we all like it liquid. And that's the other thing I was going to actually mention with the flip side of that. If you have 3 first, I at least for me, I'm probably not even right now sending that for Tyreek Hill. So you can, I think I can get something different.
What if it was 2 firsts and a second?
Would I send that for Hill?
Yeah. Lineup start 10 like that.
Yeah, I probably would. And push come to shove, I probably would. But also, I feel like right now I have another, month or so
Really
before I actually am like.
Yep.
If you told me it's September,
Yep.
I've kind of explored. Everyone's being a cuck. Let's go.
Yep.
Sign me up. 2 first right now. I would send it for Tyreek Hill on my contenders today.
Pivot.
We did a
Pose.
time machine,
Photo shoot.
hot tub, time machine.
Boom.
Listen. I'm not going to cover for you. I'm going to talk about you. No, honestly, we somehow, some way, Salt got a new patron gets a trade, a double trade, a double entendre into the trade show.
Twofer.
I'm looking at the trade. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I remember reviewing that trade. Turns out we didn't review it. Never got to it. So new patron, and also not just a new patron, a person who just so happens to now be a shithead. 5 minutes down the road from the shit house. He basically says, listen, what do I got to do? I mean, join the patron, give you trades. Are you afraid of me? Are these trades too good? Like, what happened? I said, no, hold on, buddy. No way, Kimosabi. This is my house now. Bijan Robinson is being sent away by Salt. S4, LT1. Bo Nix, Tyreek Hill, and a third. Mike, where are you at on this trade? Bo Nix, Tyreek, a third, or Bijan.
I was gonna say, if you're competing, Bijan really is.
It's kind of him.
It's kind of him.
Yeah,
But
I do.
you know who else is kind of him if I'm competing?
Yeah, Tyreek.
Hill.
Now, can I tell you what's really crazy about this?
I don't understand what the fuck you're doing.
Well, can I tell you what's really interesting, though? Bijan Robinson, I think at that position, while he's different than the rest, I view that position in a 1-2 year window as far as the way I want the value. Right. Tyreek Hill, you're saying, well, he's older. That's why he's going later. He should be. Well, I'm looking at
2 year window.
that, not position, but that player in a 1 or 2 year window. And if you tell me that he's suiting up for 2 years, I'm telling you, each time 2K is a possibility. Yeah. Okay, so that's where I think there's like a value. There's a deficiency in how you're probably viewing that in startup values. Here's the thing, Bo Nix, you and I, you have all the shares of in every league that's shit. I think like 70-something%, something ungodly.
Stupid. Yes.
Now, while you're probably so that makes you the residential like tell people what to do with Bo Nix. Facts of the matter are, we didn't even get a chance to tell the kid what to do because he's going to make a second trade. I would say that the Bo Nix in a third, to me, it comes down to what you can actually do with him later. Because I don't really, honestly, in most leagues, I don't want to have to rely on Bo Nix. Look at the next trade though with Walrus Tommy. Justin Fields. So would you rather Bo Nix or the quarterback room of the Pittsburgh Steelers in a Superflex league?
If I was a lineup league, I'll take the 2.
Okay.
Like, I'll take the 2 because I can roster either Fields or Wilson and not be a detriment to me for half the year.
Yep. Now
the other one's doing fuck all.
Now, what if it was a super win now team, as you would call it, in a best ball league?
I think I want to do something to like figure out. I'm gonna make a bet on one of these guys and roster construct my best ball team around it.
Yeah.
I really hate carrying a backup handcuff quarterback. I really do.
I will say, can I say this? Rule of thumb, well, I'll say it. I don't have to ask permission, I don't think. I don't know why I did that. But Justin Fields is probably an exception. I agree with the rule. I think he's probably an exception to the rule. The one thing to do, though, when you talk about this, if I'm going to make this trade, I am okay with it, but I have to know, like, okay, now I am taking on he's now one of the zeros that I have to account for, and I don't want to account for many at all. Right. So this is about 30. He showed me the league about 30 roster spots.
So he's right on the fringe of being able to hold
exactly
a couple of these.
Exactly spots. Right. So that's where it's like, okay,
yep.
In a overall principle, take the names away.
Yep.
I'd rather have the individual player that doesn't hold the extra roster spot. Justin Fields' upside, though, because here's what I look at. I think Russell Wilson's devalued. I think that Justin Fields, though, if he's the starter, is easily the one I want regardless. So I'm kind of willing to make the exception of the rule for him in this scenario, but you have to bake in who do I cut now or how do I, when the season's coming around, you have to, I think, be a little bit more cognizant that Fields is now one of those like rare position zeros that you're carrying right now. Yeah. 2, 3, 4 at most.
I like that. I think if you do a good job acknowledging that this is a one-off.
Yeah.
And I can absorb this with the way the roster currently is and how many roster spots I have, I'm fine with it.
Yep, I agree.
If you're just off doing this willy-nilly, though, in your best ball leagues all the time, and let's say it's not even Fields, maybe you got, you're getting 2 quarterbacks off the same team. Brissett and Drake May. You're getting Sam Darnold.
Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew.
Stop it.
I saw someone puke in this room at least a few times.
Once upon a time.
Honestly, though, yeah, and that's why I think the rule and the process you mentioned laid out is 100% correct. There are exceptions, to most rules.
Salt did a good job.
Yeah, I'll say this, though. When I look at the totality of the trade, right, one of the things I think in a series of trades deal, now when I talk about that 26th third, it's actually still there. But Bo Nix swap in now Fields, Russ Wilson, Tyreek Hill, and a 26th third in best ball.
In a best ball league.
We are cooking with gas, my friend.
For one player.
Get the Blackstone out. So the gas is hot.
So Salt did a great job here.
Yeah.
Now, last night at the Rookie Talent Show, it was
god
awful.
I will say we pulled out cameras. We I will admit to the group before you put the title together on YouTube. I didn't title the show because in order for it to be a talent show, we had to be convicted that we had enough talent to call it one.
I don't think we got talent.
I'll say this: the kid is eager and ready to improve and prove us wrong today. I don't know if he gets his crack at the.
He tried.
He did go out there. I mean, I'll say this: we had rookies that they called no-showed.
Yeah.
So
we had some people run and hide from the moment, you know?
Yeah. I want for sure Salt's side of this deal. You know, I think if I'm Ronan, after I see that trade go through, you should be looking at it like, I'm a little bit salty now.
I would be salty.
That's
very salty.
Yeah. I love Bijan, but nah, there's
There
no
we
way.
go.
We got a shit lineup deal.
Big Corey plank crew.
You know what? Big Corey's just.
He's out here working.
I was gonna say, you know what's interesting about Big Corey? I feel like the unorthodoxness that he's willing to go to make the trade show. He's never the featured player, but he's somehow always in the deal.
Yeah, he's a nice role player.
You know, yeah, he's like a bench player. You know, Diontae Johnson, Ty Chandler, Ladd McConkey are being sent all the way down to Lakeland, Florida, in plank crew. Shout out Lakeland. David Njoku, Jordan Addison, a second. Mike, I don't
know what the hell's going on here.
When I just immediately look at this trade, before I even start canceling stuff out, I kind of feel like I don't like it, you know? You get that icky feeling. Like, what are we doing here? But in a lineup league, starting 11, by the way, y'all are just out here calling things shit now. I've never and never would, maybe I'll never say never. A shit lineup league is not something we created. No. If you know this channel, if you know shit, you know where we fucking stand on best ball versus lineup. I don't mind lineup, but I don't need it anymore. I'm out.
No, I'm good.
When I think about a lineup league, though, okay, I do think now, like, I don't necessarily want to pay the Jordan Addison price, but I think he's for sure in the range of the best player in the deal. Ladd, maybe, and Diontae are somewhere in the mix. I would lean Addison, right?
I'm with you. Even with his situation.
Yeah. What is our situation, Dad? David Njoku in a second now for Tyson Chandler.
I make nightly paintings here while you guys sleep.
It was a gift.
It's a gift.
Ty Chandler, Ladd McConkey, a second, and Njoku. So just let's acknowledge this. We got a 4-point tight end premium. All right, so we got the WoRP up here, Mike. When you look at this line, you see that yellow line, right?
Yep.
It's a little prettier than most.
A little bit.
Especially at the top end. Now, I was talking about Sam Laporta on a video I did a couple weeks ago for BDG, and I think this line is a perfect example of this, where, okay, the top of that line in multi-year is at the top of all of them, actually, by a hair. But Travis Kelce and, like, you know, in the years past, and the Gates of the world, the Rob Gronkowski's of the world, that's what's, I think, kind of, at least for me, when I look at this line, that's what's making it stand out. And if you tell me right now that we don't have, like, Sam Laporta is being valued so high, for example, he's not in this trade, but is he going to actually be that different from the field in the future, I think is the question that I have. And if the answer to that is no, that's an inflated-ass line that I don't want to be a part of.
I get you.
What is your thought on Njoku in this league now, given that WoRP?
Well, it's a piece that you want to deal away. Like,
yeah,
I think it's a little bit too much. But here's the thing. I want to get like a receiver or a running back that's going to give me much better WoRP than what Njoku was. Yeah. Not something that's the same or worse.
So, yeah, I was just going to ask you that. With that question, Njoku or Ladd McConkey in this league?
You actually probably want Njoku.
You know what's interesting about this trade? With that said, all that to get basically set up for me, Njoku in production, Ladd McConkey in market maybe.
There you go.
Right? So, like, now I want to know what the agenda is. Agenda, not bad. But a second in Ty Chandler, I think, is going to be something I'm curious where your thoughts are, too. Because that's, I think, might sway me right back to where we started.
This second. It's the
so
second.
you're telling me.
It's the second.
That was like a, you know what, that was like a good game, back and forth. Like, you look at the play-by-play, a lot of lead changes. I think, honestly, Big Corey, while your name barely snuck in there on that picture, I'm going to take his side. His side's a little bigger, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say by a little, but when you win at every spot.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just a dub.
I mean, true. Well, here's what I'll say. Dynasty Alex, we got to be better for Lakeland at least, you know?
Show out next time.
I will say I love the fact that this clearly was edited by sent offer with a check mark. Come on, guys.
We can see it.
Listen, I'm not very good at it, but I know what Photoshop looks like. What are we doing? That might be the worst part of this whole thing. Speaking of which, Salt, we love you being here. We wish that we didn't call it a talent show, but it happened.
No talent.
And here's what I'll say. If you want to be a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/South Harmon, you might fuck around and find out that you live 5 minutes away from this shit B&B.
You might.
You may find that somehow, some way, you'd rather take Monday off of work and golf with a couple shitheads and be required to come work 2 Saturdays.
Ooh.
And even though it sounds like a terrible deal, and honestly, if we put that on the trade show, it'd be awful. Salt has a second deal on here. Not a good one.
Don't want to see that one.
But if you win the title, if it works out, if you win the title, you fucking say whatever. He had a great time. He may not have been on much rest Monday morning, but we had a blast. It's been fun this week, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Dude, my voice is going.
I was going to say, you know what? You can hear it's going, but it's not gone.
Not gone yet.
It's kind of like, the old going, gone. We're not there yet. What do you think of this week, the expo, and then the trade show?
Oh, it has been rough, man. We've been going hard, but having the time of our lives. Trade show was good, but kind of like the trade show, kind of like the expo, man. We'll both be glad when it's officially done. Like it's time to go home.
You know what? Can I tell you the truth? It's kind of like one of those deals where I want to send the ATM counter. I don't want to go home, but I'm just gonna be honest. While my body is telling me no,
your body telling you yes.
dude, my body is telling me to get out of here. It needs to go. The amount of sleep I've had, if you combined it all into one night, might be one night of sleep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's also like then once I get caught up on sleep, I'm back to my routine. I'm like, damn it, it came and went, and we're home.
No, you're sad.
Exactly.
Sad.
So the real winner here is you guys. All right.
It is.
Mike's fighting laryngitis over there. Whatever's going on.
We're fine. We woke up this morning. I took a shower. I got dressed. He had to put out a little picture on Instagram that says, "I want you to put the word out there that we back up."
We back up.
We back up. And I got one more ride in me.
And you know what? Yeah.
This
horse can go one more gallop.
One more gallop.
Me and Koopa are in here setting up. I wake up at 10:30 just feeling like, I took a nap for my sleep. It's kind of what happened. And then me and Koopa are setting up. We're, trying to find cords that seemingly are nowhere around. Why I'm holding a microphone. It's okay. Mine's not movie quality. Here's the thing. I'm wondering, Mike, where's Mike during all this? Oh, he's fine. He's watching preseason football. All right. We're back up.
Back in, man.
That being said, we appreciate you guys being here today. Again, if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/South Harmon. If you're new to the channel and you've watched all this and you're like, what the hell is going on? Just at least hit the subscribe button. It's weird, I know. If you're at this point, do it. Trust me. It's not necessarily for you guys. It's for us. But we love you. We'll be back here, not in Canton, but on the channel. Same time, same place next week. We love you. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.